Hola a todos a un nuevo vídeo de esta saga de Mass Effect. Hola camaradas, ¿qué tal estáis? Vamos a ver qué nos depara después de haber hecho ese prólogo largo y después de haber tenido esas visiones raras y estos especie de zombies cibernéticos. Aquí podemos ver más partes de la nave, por ejemplo. Aquí está la taquilla nuestra. Que ya podría darte más cosas, pero bueno. Se va repartiendo, es decir, a veces vas a la taquilla y no hay nada, pero otras veces vas a la taquilla y vuelve a haber cosas, ¿sabéis? Sé que alguna de estas te da experiencia, por eso estoy por aquí. Este es el camarote del capitán.
Go speak to Joker when you're ready. Tell him to bring the Normandy into dock.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
La verdad es que Jenkins era el soldado más inútil de todos los que había por aquí. O sea, ese que está limpiando el suelo, ese es más útil que Jenkins.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. That means a lot from you. I've never met anyone who was awarded the Star of Terra.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
Perdonad este breve lapso, pero como tengo animales a los que atender, es la misión de todo cuidador atenderlos. Como habéis visto, las conversaciones se vuelven un poco calientes, por decirlo así, y es que BioWare siempre ha tenido una mentalidad muy abierta, es decir, si quieres podríamos acostarnos y tener una relación seria con ella o con él siendo un chico. Y en este juego la verdad es que solo con una persona más que todavía no conocemos. Pero en los siguientes juegos puedes tener una relación con todos menos con ¿cómo era la raza? Ahora no me sale.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe. Too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Debo decir que esta doctora, la doctora Chacuas, o como se llame, la verdad es que tiene un apellido un tanto raro, es una de las personajes más longevas. No es jugable, no puedes jugar con ella en ningún momento, pero está desde bien al principio, ya la hemos visto, hasta el final del juego prácticamente.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
De la saga, perdón.
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. I wanted to travel, but humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse.
What do you know about Captain
I've
Anderson?
served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record. Over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
O eso es lo que tú sabes.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
A lo mejor se dedica a matar a lindos gatitos, que tú te sabes.
Commander, I'm glad to see you're okay. Losing Jenkins was hard on the crew, and I'm glad we didn't lose you too.
Things were pretty rough down there.
Yeah, you never get used to seeing dead civilians. Doesn't seem right somehow. But at least you stopped Saren from wiping out the whole colony.
I couldn't have done it without you.
We're Marines. We stick together. And I'm just sorry that we lost Jenkins.
Yeah, I wish I could have done something to save him.
I was there. You did everything right. It was just bad luck.
Pero qué mala
It's been a
suerte.
hell of a shakedown cruise. Our first mission ends with one Spectre killing another. The Citadel Council's not going to be happy about that. Probably use it to lever more concessions out of the Alliance.
You've got a good grasp of the situation. You a career man?
Yeah, a lot of biotics are. We're not restricted, but we sure don't go undocumented. May as well get a paycheck for it. Besides, my father served. I made him proud when I enlisted. Eventually. But is that why you're here? Because of your family?
I was a regular Navy brat. I got a little more noteworthy than the folks expected.
Oh, that's right, the Blitz. I imagine that bought you any post in the fleet. Word is we're heading for the Citadel, ma'am. Can you, tell me why?
The captain hopes the ambassador can get an audience with the council. Tell them what Saren's been up to.
Makes sense. They'd probably like to know he's not working for them anymore. Whatever happens, we'll be ready, Commander.
Pero que lo de Jenkins no fue un error en ningún momento, la madre que os parió. El tipo se va solo por su cuenta y le disparan. Coño, es normal. Esta nave creo que tiene 3 o 4 pisos. No me acuerdo muy bien cuántos pisos tiene, pero sé que tiene unos cuantos. La nave, la Normandy del segundo y del tercero, tiene más pisos. ¿Veis? Aquí podéis en cualquier momento. A ver, así. Este juego es largo, o sea que preparados para tener muchos vídeos. Esta cosita de aquí la llevaremos, si quiere, vale. A esta cosa que se llama macro, la llevaremos por diferentes mundos. Y aunque la mayoría de las veces sirva para misiones secundarias que seguramente haga fuera de cámara, porque normalmente es recoger tal recurso en tal sitio, es interesante, porque normalmente en el 2 y en el 3, en el 3 ni siquiera hay, y en el 2 hay un modelo como volador, muy raro.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased, but I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistent.
Esto que acaba de decir es importante. Cada vez que aterrice en un nuevo planeta con comercio, es decir, que haya comerciantes por allí, cambiará de productos. Es decir, si veis algo que tenga en la nave, ahorrad, porque después lo cambiará seguro,
Let's see what
supuestamente.
you got.
You bet, Commander.
¿Veis? 24.000, tenemos 1.000, ¿sabéis? A ver si 3 la vamos a guardar como los fusiles, pero todo lo que sea 1 lo vamos a vender, porque es peor, ¿sabéis? Menos estas mejoras, a partir de aquí la pistola vendida. Ligera humana, vendida también. Menos esta media turiana, porque es mejor que la que tendrá nuestro turiano, supongo. La media humana la quitamos también, fusil también. Y vamos a dejarlo del 2. Cuando normalmente aparezcan del 3, vamos a vender todo lo del 2. Y yo al menos lo hago así. Y esto es la sala de máquinas. Sí. Este es el motor, por decirlo así, el generador. Creo que lo de Jenkins era el hijo de alguno de estos. No sé si de él, del que acabamos de hablar, o del de arriba del principio. Los ascensores en este juego sirven básicamente para cargar. Aunque normalmente ya veis que la carga dura 0, y esto ya está, o sea, como veis es una nave bastante pequeñita comparada con la del 2 y con la del 3, pero claro, en el 2 y en el 3 normalmente tenemos más gente y toda la peste. A veces si le das a ese botón tarda lo suyo, ¿vale? O sea, no... bueno, más o menos ya conocéis toda la nave. Faltan 2 cositas de nada. Esto vuelve a ser las escaleras para bajar.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Losing Jenkins was hard enough on the crew.
Otro códice. Todas estas cositas que estamos encontrando son códices en realidad. Mira, aquí debería aparecer uno, pero no aparece.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
Saren's a threat to every human colony out there. He needs to be stopped. The Council has to listen to us.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not hers.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
Sure is peaceful here.
Oh, they've built themselves quite the lake. Wonder if anyone ever drowned in it.
La capitana Henrikson ha informado de lecturas inusuales de energía durante su patrulla por el cúmulo Argos Rho. Estaba especialmente preocupada por el sistema Hydra, pero tuvo que volver antes de que su equipo pudiera investigar más a fondo. No hay más patrullas programadas en ese sector. Deberíamos mandar un grupo de reconocimiento. Todas estas misiones son secundarias, como veis, y hay algunas que son importantes, es decir, yo las haré y las veréis, pero hay otras que no son nada importantes, entonces no las haré. Bueno, las haré, pero fuera de cámara.
Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong, and it is the Asari consort's fault. She's the one who started all this.
What did this Asari do to get you so upset?
I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
Where can I find this Asari consort?
She is across the bridge from here. Her offices are easy enough to spot. Good day, human.
Como lo veremos en el códice, ya sabremos por qué hablan así. Estos son los cuidadores que hablaban en uno de los códices anteriores y como veis prácticamente hacen eso y nada más. O sea, si tú les prohíbes hacer algo, explotan. Simplemente, o sea, eso sí, ya está. No.
Pleased greeting. Human, it is always good to see your kind. I am Ambassador Kalen. Genuine query. Is there something I can do for you this day?
Why do you explain what you're about to say?
Our people communicate less through words and more through scent and slight movements. Plainly, we discovered our vocal expression was not enough to convey the feelings of our conversations to other species.
Why do you bother, Kalen? These Earth Clan don't really care about our ways.
Remorseful response, Din. You don't truly believe that, and if you do, I am very sorry for you.
Tell me more about your species.
Genuine enthusiasm. I delight in telling the history of my people. It is agreeable to share our culture with others.
Preparaos para dormiros un rato, ¿vale?
Tell me about the history and origins of the Elcor.
The Elcor were just beginning to explore Council space when the Asari first made contact with us. With their help, we discovered the relay closest to our system, and from there the Citadel. Proudly, within one lifetime we established a regular route to the Citadel, and quickly became one of the more active species living on this great station.
I'd like to know more about the culture of the Elcor.
Frankly, we Elcor prefer the safety and familiarity of our own colonies to the confines of space travel. Our society is built on small, tight-knit groups, though we are always welcoming to outsiders. Our government tends to be very stable. Our people are not very comfortable with sudden changes.
Y que lo digas.
What do you do here?
Modestly, I work to bring the problems and the requests of the Elcor groups to the attention of the Council.
Ha! They only give us these positions to keep us quiet. The Council doesn't care about our races.
Chastising rebuke. Your tone is inappropriate, Din. This human is not to blame for your malcontent or your misconceived suspicions.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Sincere farewell. Good day to you, human. Enjoy your time on the Citadel.
Earth Clan, you are in the wrong place, I think. Your ambassador is next door in the large office.
Chastising remark. Don't be so rude, Din. At least introduce yourself.
I am Din Korlak, Volus ambassador. Is there something I can do for you, Earth Clan?
You seem to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder, Din.
You humans are new to the Citadel, and yet the Council has granted you great favor.
Chastising rebuke, Din. Your species has always been granted many concessions. Volus territory has expanded tenfold since coming to the Citadel.
Details. We still have no real say in the decisions that affect Citadel space.
What is this place?
You are in the embassy for the Volus and the Elcor.
Your ambassador is next door, in his own office.
In this shared space, I aid my fellow Volus when I'm not being interrupted.
I'd like to know more about the Volus.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, Earth Clan.
Actually, I would like to know more about your history.
My people came to the Citadel shortly after the Asari and Solarians had discovered it. We were instrumental in establishing a standardized galactic economy. However, despite our long association with the Citadel and our many contributions to galactic society, we still do not hold a seat on the Council.
Tell me about Volus culture.
We are tribal by nature, but our ways are not violent. We barter and trade our lands and tribe members in order to increase status. Larger tribes often engulf smaller ones and eventually split again. Our society is very malleable, and our government is always shifting and changing. Since we're not physically adept, we trade our services for protection.
What is it you do here?
I look out for the best interests of the Volus people. No easy task considering how often we are overlooked by the Council.
Chastising rebuke, Din. The Council favors your species greatly.
You are naive. The Earth Clan will be invited to the Council long before our species will.
Why aren't the Elcor or Volus part of the Council?
All species must prove themselves before they join the Council. All but the Earth Clans, it would seem.
Dismissive. Ignore the Volus ambassador, human. He is incorrect in his assessment.
Really? How long have we been waiting? How long do you think we'll continue to wait? Bah, this talk is wasted on the humans.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Yes, yes. Good day, Earth Clan.
Y aquí terminamos el vídeo con estas magníficas vistas. Y ahora un poquito del códice.
The Elcor are a Citadel species native to the high-gravity world Dakuna. They are massive creatures, standing on 4 muscular legs for increased stability. Elcor move slowly, an evolved response to an environment where a fall can be lethal. This has colored their psychology, making them deliberate and conservative. Elcor's speech is ponderous and monotone. Among themselves, scent, slight movements, and sub-vocalized infrasound convey shades of meaning that make a human smile seem as subtle as a fireworks display. Since their subtlety can lead to misunderstandings with other species, the Elcor often go out of their way to clarify when they are being sarcastic, amused, or angry. Dacuna's high gravity impedes mountain formation. Most of the world consists of flat, open plains, which prehistoric Elcor wandered across in small family bands. Modern Elcor still prefer open sky, and can become restless and uncomfortable on long starship journeys. The Volus are a member species of the Citadel with their own embassy, but they are also a client race of the Turians. Centuries ago, they were voluntarily absorbed into the hierarchy, effectively trading their mercantile prowess for Turian military protection. Erun, their homeworld, lies far beyond the normal life zone of its star. However, the world has a high-pressure greenhouse atmosphere that traps enough heat to support an ammonia-based biochemistry. As a result, the Volus must wear pressure suits and breathers when dealing with other species, as conventional nitrogen-oxygen air mixtures are poisonous to them, and in the low-pressure atmospheres tolerable to most species, their flesh will actually split open. Volus culture is tribal, bartering lands and even people to gain status. This culture of exchange inclines them to economic pursuits. It was the Volus who authored the Unified Banking Act, and they continue to monitor and balance the Citadel economy. The Citadel, the Council, is an executive committee composed of representatives from the Asari Republics, the Turian hierarchy, and the Solarian Union. Though they have no official power over the independent governments of other species, the Council's decisions carry great weight throughout the galaxy. No single Council race is strong enough to defy the other two, and all have a vested interest in compromise and cooperation. Each of the Council species has general characteristics associated with the various aspects of governing the galaxy. The Asari are typically seen as diplomats and mediators. The Solarians gather intelligence and information. The Turians provide the bulk of the military and peacekeeping forces. Any species granted an embassy on the Citadel is considered an associate member, bound by the accords of the Citadel Conventions. Associate members may bring issues to the attention of the Council, though they have no input on the decision. The Human Systems Alliance became an associate member of the Citadel in 2165. The Mako infantry fighting vehicle was designed for the System Alliance's frigates. Though the interior is cramped, an M35 is small enough to be carried in the cargo bay and easily deployed on virtually any world. With its turreted 155mm mass accelerator and coaxially mounted machine gun, the Mako can provide a fire team with weapon support as well as mobility. Since Alliance Marines may be required to fight on any world, the Mako is environmentally sealed and equipped with microthrusters for use on low-gravity planetoids. The Mako is powered by a sealed hydrogen-oxygen fuel cell and includes a small Element Zero core. While not large enough to nullify the vehicle's mass, the core can reduce it enough to be safely airdropped. When used in conjunction with thrusters, it also allows the Mako to extricate itself from difficult terrain. Biotics is the ability of rare individuals to manipulate dark energy and create mass effect fields through the use of electrical impulses from the brain. Intense training and surgically implanted amplifiers are necessary for a biotic to produce mass effect fields powerful enough for practical use. The relative strength of biotic abilities varies greatly among species and with each individual. There are 3 branches of biotics. Telekinesis uses mass-lowering fields to levitate or impel objects. Mass-raising kinetic fields are used to block or pin objects. Spatial distortion uses rapidly shifting mass fields to shred objects. Most organic species are capable of developing biotic abilities, though there are risks involved. Biotics are the result of an in utero exposure to Element Zero. This usually causes fatal cancers in the victim, but in rare cases, it coalesces into nodules within the fetus's developing nervous system. Element 0 can increase or decrease the mass of a volume of space-time when subjected to an electrical current. With a positive current, mass is increased. With a negative current, mass is decreased. The stronger the current, the greater the magnitude of the dark energy mass effect. In space, low-mass fields allow FTL travel and inexpensive surface-to-orbit transit. High-mass fields create artificial gravity and push space debris away from vessels. In manufacturing, low-mass fields permit the creation of evenly blended alloys, while high-mass compaction creates dense, sturdy construction materials. The military makes extensive use of mobility-enhancing technologies, with mass effect utilizing fighting vehicles standard frontline issue in most military forces. Mass effect fields are also essential in the creation of kinetic barriers or shields to protect against enemy fire. Omni-tools are handheld devices that combine a computer microframe, sensor analysis pack, and manufacturing fabricator. Versatile and reliable, an Omni-tool can be used to analyze and adjust the functionality of most standard equipment, including weapons and armor, from a distance. The fabrication module can rapidly assemble small three-dimensional objects from common reusable industrial plastics, ceramics, and light alloys. This allows for field repairs and modifications to most standard items, as well as the reuse of salvaged equipment. Omni-tools are standard issue for soldiers and first-in colonists.